Wesley studies this. He eats, sleeps, breathes it. I mean, this is his life, and he is all about it.
He demands a lot out of us, out of the horses, out of the whole operation. You either step up or you step out.
Yes, we are going to push you. Like, if you join our team, you're going to get pushed, but you're also going to reach your potential.
That's his mentality. His mentality is, I'm a winner.
Wesley is the ultimate competitor.
This village is my ride or die. I mean, it doesn't matter what we're going through.
He doesn't want to do anything halfway. So he pours everything he has into every horse.
He does produce a very trained horse that can go on to do it almost themselves.
Wesley can really get these horses really working with a lot of expression, a high degree of difficulty, and this horse can do it.
You know, as you get older, you really learn that in order for you to be at a very high level, it takes a village of people to get you there.
So you're an NFL football team right here. So you've got a team around you, you've got an offense, you've got a defense. You know, then you've got the quarterback. The quarterback is the essential of a football team. Wesley is the quarterback. So he has to study to get where he is. You can't just walk out and say, you know what, I'm gonna train a cutting horse today and I'm gonna go win the futurity. You're going up against 624 of the best 3-year-olds coming in to try to win it. It's like winning the Super Bowl. You know, Tom Brady didn't get successful overnight. He was a backup quarterback at Michigan. He got passed up by a freshman, but it never stopped him. And I think that's where Wes is he doesn't have a quit mentality, doesn't want to stop, wants to be pushed by Sammy, by Erica, by Kristen, by his kids, me. He wants to be pushed and wants to know, what can I do better? Like, where can we get better? I think that's what leading a team is about. The leader has to be committed, has to want the best, wants to win. And if you don't have that, if you want to be mediocre, you got the Cleveland Browns.
You know, everybody's got a different kind of personality. I've seen people all the time that do very successful at just kind of laughing and giggling and just relaxed, and then they go down there and perform really good, and I try to do like that, and I don't do very good at all. So I know exactly what it takes for me to be able to be at a high level, and that's to be hyper-focused and prepared and prepped. And that's just what it takes. I want to laugh and do all those things and have a great time, but you know, I want to be able to not walk away from that show just thinking, man, I left a lot of opportunities on the table, and that's on me. I have a brother who's 3 years older than me, and when he gets like me, hyper-focused or whatever, he's a little too tight and too tense, and he doesn't show as good. So I know every time I've seen him do really good, he's a little bit more laid back and a little more laughable and those kind of things, and he goes and performs really, really well, and you know, we're full brothers, and so it's just two different ways of how we do it, and that's what it takes for me to be able to perform and execute at a high level once, you know, you're blessed enough to have those great horses like I've had in the last handful of years.
You know, I think what makes our team so special is the individuals that are on the team, and you know, they're very detail oriented, and they take everything as serious as we do, and they're very competitive, and every single one of us, when we come to work, we want to do the best that we can that day. And I feel like our team is 1 in a million, the people that we have, and we're super blessed to have them. Sammy's been with us a long time, and goes back to when Wes and I kind of first started. She was here, and so she's been on a very long journey with us, and a lot of growing pains and a lot of ups and downs, and so it's just, she's like family, and so is Erica. You know, I think that's probably the biggest thing, is we're not just teammates, we're here for each other, and we are like family, and we love each other like family. So I think that shines through. I think a lot of people probably don't see that, but yeah, we're like family.
I just remember when I first got here thinking, like, how can anybody do this? And I went from not knowing anything about cutting or really performance horses to this level that most people never get to experience. So that, I feel like, is the thing that people don't see, is how much thought and how much detail and how much analyzing goes into making every horse just a little bit better. Learning how to hope for perfection and aim for it, but also how to use your resources to figure out how and why you're coming up short, and having the courage to want to fix it. That's something that was the big hurdle for me, is understanding that you have every resource here to be the absolute most elite you can possibly be, and whether or not you want to use it or not, that's, I think, what makes the difference. And here you've learned to use every single ounce of everything that you've got to get to your maximum potential. He might try to eat the camera. There's a chance.
Yeah, I think it's just being real clear with them and keeping it black and white. I think, one day every day we work a horse, I'll kind of ask them how they're feeling when they warm them up, and then they tell me, and then I go to work that horse, and then I'm like, yeah, it felt exactly like that. Or it may be like, no, that it wasn't like that. And so I think every day that we work these horses, we talk about it. I think that helps us all align up our feel on each individual horse. So then when it comes time for that show pen, I think we really know, and they know, kind of how that horse is being, and we know how to handle those situations to prepare that horse correctly. And it's just a lot of the prep work at home. I think that's the biggest thing, is I think they're very good at us all communicating and really just trying to learn from each other of what we need to do to get those horses to be the best versions of themselves they can be. So I think that's probably what's going to come along, is they know that I push extremely hard and expect tremendous effort, and they always answer the bell. And I ask the exact same things out of myself, if not more so, of what I need to do and be at a higher level. So I push extremely hard to try to push the train down the tracks for us to get to that point where we need to be. And it can be tough, and it can be frustrating, and it's a grind. But like I always say, you got to really love it, and you got to embrace the grind to just really dig in deep and just, really show humility about just like, hey, you're not being good enough right now. We have to dig deeper. And talking about myself, like I've got to get better. This turn, that turn, whatever it is, my ride, whatever it is, like you've got to dig deeper, you've got to get better, or you're going to get left behind.
He wants every owner's horse to succeed, plus his own. So I think that's his mentality. His mentality is, I'm a winner. And I like that. Who wants to be a loser? Nobody wants to be second place. You want to win it. So I think, times like that are the fun parts, that you get to see it, you get to watch them, you get to see the pressure, the intense moments, it's not going good right now, but let's slow up for a second, let's break it down. And those are the moments that you see it and you're like, wow, that was a really good work.
They brought me in and they were like, yep, you belong here. And it was just easy. So, and I think that when there isn't a good working relationship, things don't work. They don't work at all. The horses don't work well, everybody's upset. And like when you don't get along with another person, the ship does not run. And it is really nice that Sammy and I are really, really good friends. And like, we are very understanding of each other's personalities and what we like and what we don't like and what we're picky about. And so it's really easy to be like, hey, like, let's do this, or let's not do this. And like, it makes decision making, it makes everything so much easier when you get along with the person. Your personalities just mesh. And so like, she is like the more talkative one, and I'm just like little less talkative. I'm like, it's very easy for us to get along. I love the support that every single one of us gives each other. Whether it's Sammy showing a horse, or me showing a horse, or Kristen, or Wes, everybody's there, and they are all super excited. If I'm showing a horse, Sammy's loping it, Wes and Kristen are both there, they're excited. Just the same for everybody else. Like, Sammy's riding a horse, I'm loping it, I'm there, I'm excited. Everybody, like, it's so cool how positive everybody is for each other, because we all want everybody to do well. We want the horses to do well. We want everybody to show well. And so it's really cool that we all just appreciate one another, and so we root for each other.
The care that Sammy and Erica put in, it's people don't realize the hours in a day that they put in of taking care of the horses, getting us to be at that point. Yeah, and the sacrifice to their lives, outside of horses, it takes a sacrifice too, because it's, they're here so much and they're putting in so much for these horses. And, these are other people, customers' horses all over the country. And even sometimes they don't realize how much that they're really putting in on these horses and how much these horses love, Sammy and Erica, just because they're with them so much. And, even at the end of the day, we always try to come and turn them out in the arena, just so they can get out a little bit, so they put in, Sammy, Sammy's been, I don't even know, like 10, 15 years, it's crazy how long she's been with me. And she has really just, poured her heart out into, me and my family and the horses that are here. It's not like it's a job that she's on cruise control. She comes out and puts everything that she has into it. And when it doesn't go right, she's as, defeated and beat up as anybody about it. And Erica's been with me for probably 5 years. In this industry, a lot of the lopers don't, or at least mine, they don't get looked at as much as they should, because without them, I wouldn't be in that winner circle with those horses, because they prep that horse properly. And if they didn't prep that horse properly, we go down there, it's too fresh, it's running all over, and we don't win, and we don't do good. So it's really trusting them, and I think they trust me and what we talk about of getting that horse ready. And I wouldn't have as much success in the last 5 years without Sammy and Erica. I do know that, because I've done this long enough, and they've just really pinpointed down on these horses exactly, how we need to get them ready, and done an amazing job. And I've been tremendously blessed to be a part of it with them too, and have them in my life.
There's just so many little things behind the scenes that people don't see of, these guys, they are under an incredible amount of pressure and stress, and he doesn't want to do anything halfway, so he pours everything he has into every horse. And so I see that it's emotional when things don't go the way you want it to, and they're not going to a lot of the times. That's the sport we play. We're dealing with cows and animals, and that's just how it goes. So yeah, I think as his wife, I have to just be like, what, guess what, there's another show, there's another futurity. We're going to be at that one, and we'll get them that the next time. There's some times where I have to be like, listen, you are a badass. You're just as good as any of these people out here, and build him up, and help him realize that he can go do heroic things, which he's done over and over again. So
yeah, I think to separate family from work, I always try to tell myself this: God, family, and then horses. And it's easy to say those things. It gets very difficult to really do those things. There's certain times every single year that I may be put in situations that my family may need me. There may be a show that I need to go to get these horses ready for a bigger show, or there may be a show that pays pretty decent that I'm like, listen, I don't think I'm going to be able to go show there, because there's certain things that's going on right now that I have to be there for my family.
I think when things don't go right in the arena, it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, because guess what? His girls love him just the same. So it's, hey, we're going on to the next day, and our family is the most important thing, and as long as we're happy and healthy, then we're good.
What do you hope your village and your program will be remembered for?
When it's all said and done, I want people to, remember me as, a fierce competitor. I did everything I can to get my horses and myself and my team ready to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And then when we walk down there, we have 2.5 minutes. We're not tiptoeing around. We're not going to walk in our run or anything like that. Like, we're swinging for the fences. that's just my mentality, and that's what I go for, and that's what I push for and work for, and I'm not going to back down, and I'm coming full tilt for you. It takes a village of, I think, of people to get me ready to be able to perform at a high level, not just the horse, but all the people that's been in my life too. So